Happy birthday, dear Apple. Happy birthday to you.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode of Cat Tries to Bake is going to be a lot of fun because I am actually going to be making a dog birthday cake. The reason for this is I am throwing a 10th birthday party for our dog Apple tomorrow. I never thought I would be the kind of person throwing a birthday party for a dog, but here I am throwing a birthday party for a dog. Today's recipe is going to be from the Almond Eater. The recipe will be linked in the description of this video if you'd like to go check it out. What is ironic about me finding this recipe from the Almond Eater is the fact that I was actually trying to find a nut-free birthday cake. We have some people coming to the party who are allergic to nuts, so there will be no peanut butter in this cake, even though I know dogs love peanut butter. Instead, this is going to be a pumpkin dog cake with Greek yogurt frosting. This won't be the only treat at the party though. I was trying to find like dog-themed snacks for humans so that the dog parents would also have stuff to snack on tomorrow, and everything was like super complicated and intricate, and then I remembered that our dog's name is Apple, and so I just found a bunch of Apple-themed stuff. And that is my oven. It has just finished preheating to 350 degrees for this cake. Anyway, I will be showing you the Apple-themed human treats for tomorrow's party tomorrow once we get to the party. So let's jump right in. As you heard, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and the recipe says to use 3 4-inch cake pans or 1 6-inch cake pan, but we'll have 5 to 6 dogs tomorrow, and I read in one of the comments that somebody used an 8-inch cake pan and it was fine. So that's what I will be using today. I've already greased this with coconut oil, which I'll also be using in the cake itself, and I've also lined it with parchment paper. Like I just said, you are going to need coconut oil for this recipe, so I melted mine in advance and let it sit to room temperature. For our first step, we are going to be whisking together our wet ingredients. I have a cup of whole milk. The recipe says almond milk, but you can use whatever milk you want. Half a cup of canned pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie mix, pumpkin puree, straight up pumpkin. Half a cup of maple syrup, and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Now I'm gonna mix in a 1/4 cup of cooled melted coconut oil. I'm gonna set this aside and work on my dry ingredients. So here I've already got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and in this same bowl I'm gonna whisk together 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just gonna gradually mix my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients. The recipe says to use a rubber spatula or a mixer. I already have my whisk out, so I think I'm just gonna use it. I just finished mixing my ingredients together. Everything is pretty combined. There are some lumps, but the recipe says that that's okay. All there is to do is dump this mixture into my cake pan. I honestly can't believe how quick and simple and easy this recipe has been so far. Like, I feel like I barely started and now I'm ready to put the cake in the oven. This just might be my shortest Cat Tries to Bake video ever. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna put a cake strip around it. I just put a Wilton cake strip on and it's all ready to be put in the oven. Just wanted to note that the recipe says if you're baking this in 4-inch cake tins, the bake time will probably be between 27 and 32 minutes. If you're baking this in a 6-inch cake tin, you'll probably have to bake for around 40 minutes. I am using neither of those tins, and I'm using a cake strip, which does make the top nice and level instead of domed, but it usually makes it so that the cake takes a little longer to bake through completely evenly. So I'm just gonna put this in for 30 minutes and I'm gonna check like every 5 to 10 minutes after that. See you in a bit. So I just finished baking my cake and it honestly looks really nice. There is a little bit of a dome, but I'm not super concerned about that. I think it'll kind of deflate a little bit after a few minutes and after some cooling. I ended up needing to bake this for a total of 40 minutes. I checked in at 30, I stuck a toothpick in and it was still pretty wet inside, even though the outside seemed pretty well baked. 40 minutes was perfect. All that's left is some Greek yogurt frosting, which I am gonna make tomorrow right before the party. I'm gonna wait for this to cool to room temperature and then pop it in the fridge overnight. See you tomorrow.
The next morning.
Good morning! We have arrived at the morning of Apple's 10th birthday party. I have my cake right here. Had it sitting room temperature overnight. tilt you down a little bit again. All there's left to do is to add frosting on top. Hi, Pancake. So the recipe says to use plain Greek yogurt and maple syrup. I accidentally bought plain yogurt, but it's low fat. And I did some research. A bunch of different sources online say that dogs can eat plain yogurt, so I think we're good. The recipe says to use 2/3 cup of yogurt, but I have a little bit more surface area because I chose to do an 8-inch cake. So I have about a cup here. And then 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. I'm just gonna put a little dash in there. All I'm gonna do is mix those 2 ingredients together with a spoon, and that's my frosting. Okay, last step. I'm not gonna put too much on, just because I don't know if because I used plain yogurt and not Greek yogurt, like if I let this sit out for a while, there will be that residual liquid. And we have about an hour until I'm gonna serve this cake. So I'm just gonna do this. Maybe I'll let it kind of drip down the sides a little. Oh yeah, cute little ooze. Nice. I like this accidental drip going on. I'm just feeling like I need to top it with something, so I have a lot of these leftover grain-free mini training rewards, and I'll just kind of sprinkle some on the top, I think. I am all done. It definitely smells like a dog's cake now with the addition of these treats. I'm gonna put this in the fridge and just let it chill until it's ready to serve. Until it's ready to serve.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Apple. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Let's eat!
That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching and for celebrating Apple's 10th birthday with me. Please subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. See you next time!